The hidden truth about your prostate. What happens when older men self-pleasure daily? Have you ever wondered what's really happening to your prostate when you regularly relieve yourself? For men over 40, this private habit isn't just about pleasure. It directly impacts your long-term health. Many believe daily self-pleasure helps maintain prostate function, improve sleep quality, and might even prevent enlargement issues. But what if the opposite is true? Could this routine actually be disrupting your hormonal balance or silently damaging your prostate without any warning signs? This seemingly simple question hides a complex web of biological responses that most doctors never discuss with their patients. Your prostate, that walnut-sized gland below your bladder, does far more than produce seminal fluid. It directly influences your sexual function, urination habits, and overall comfort in your pelvic region. When not properly cared for, this small but mighty gland can become congested, inflamed, or enlarged, creating problems that affect your daily comfort and confidence. In today's video, I'll reveal 3 specific changes that occur in your prostate when you self-pleasure daily. Everything I'm sharing comes from clinical practice and scientific research, not opinion or theory. Pay special attention to the 3rd change. Understanding it fully could help you prevent serious issues that many men don't recognize until they're facing uncomfortable treatments. Are you in your 40s, 50s, or beyond? Hit that subscribe button to stay connected with our in-depth content on men's health topics. Have questions about this sensitive subject? Drop them in the comments. I read every comment and value your thoughts. To address this question properly, we need to look beyond feelings or opinions and examine 3 key biological mechanisms affected when this habit becomes a daily routine. Many men ask, if daily self-pleasure is supposedly harmful, why does my body seem to want it so regularly? That's a fair question. The answer lies in how your prostate physically responds to this activity, not in psychology or willpower. First, let's explore the hormone connection. When you reach climax, your DHT hormone levels temporarily drop. DHT is essential for maintaining masculine characteristics, but it's also a significant contributor to prostate enlargement when elevated for extended periods. Regular release creates brief hormonal rest periods that give your prostate relief from constant DHT stimulation. However, and this is crucial, if you're relieving yourself too frequently, these constant hormonal fluctuations can potentially disrupt your body's endocrine axis. This is especially important for men approaching andropause, when hormonal systems become more sensitive to changes. The second mechanism is more mechanical, muscle action. Each climax involves rhythmic contractions in your pelvic floor muscles and the prostate itself. This natural workout improves local blood circulation, enhances metabolic activity, helps cleanse tissues, and delivers nutrients to the gland. With proper blood flow, your prostate stays healthy and flexible, resisting the hardening common with aging. Problems arise when these muscles don't get sufficient recovery time. Similar to overtraining any muscle group, this can lead to tension, pelvic fatigue, and reduced urinary control, particularly noticeable as you age. The third mechanism, rarely discussed by healthcare providers, involves your prostate's own immune function. Normally, ejaculation helps expel dead cells, excess proteins, and biological waste. This natural cleansing reduces the risk of mild chronic inflammation in the gland. But here's the important part. Without adequate recovery time between sessions, your internal immune responses can become unbalanced. This may cause your prostate tissue to develop persistent low-grade irritation, creating that dull, heavy feeling in your pelvic area that many men experience, even when medical tests show nothing obviously wrong. These biological mechanisms might sound technical, but I've witnessed how they translate into real differences for countless patients. Some maintained healthy, consistent patterns and enjoyed remarkable prostate health into their senior years. Others ignored their body's signals and endured years of preventable discomfort. Let me share a real patient story that illustrates these principles perfectly. I once worked with a patient named David, a 65-year-old former construction supervisor from Nevada. He came to my clinic complaining of frequent nighttime urination, a constant feeling of incomplete bladder emptying, and a persistent discomfort in his lower abdomen. David explained that he'd always been healthy, rarely got sick, stayed active, but over the previous few years, something felt off in his body. "I just don't feel like myself anymore," he told me. As we explored his history, I discovered something revealing. For nearly 10 years, David had completely stopped all ejaculatory activity, even with his partner. He believed that after turning 55, that aspect of life was finished and no longer necessary. More importantly, he felt too embarrassed to discuss it. He considered it too private, too awkward, and simply avoided the subject altogether. After conducting a physical examination and prostate ultrasound, we found his prostate had mildly enlarged, his PSA levels exceeded recommended ranges, and the gland tissue showed clear signs of congestion and irregularity. While not yet serious, his prostate was clearly reacting to years of neglect. We began with simple changes to his routine. David started drinking more water throughout the day, added light walking to his schedule, began taking natural prostate-supporting supplements, and, most importantly, gradually reintroduced a consistent self-pleasure routine of once or twice weekly, adjusted based on how his body responded. The results after just 4 months were remarkable. His PSA levels measurably decreased, his nighttime bathroom trips significantly improved, and the persistent heaviness in his lower abdomen nearly disappeared. Even more impressive was his mindset transformation. David became more confident, stopped avoiding discussions about his sexual health, and shared something I'll never forget. "I never imagined something this simple could change both my body and my mindset so much." David's experience isn't unusual. Many men between 50 and 70 find themselves in similar situations, either neglecting this aspect of health entirely or simply not knowing what frequency is appropriate for their age and condition. So what's the ideal balance? How often should you engage in self-pleasure to support prostate health without overtaxing your system? One question I'm frequently asked is straightforward: how many times per week should I be doing this? It's a valid question, but the answer isn't one fixed number. It depends on your age, overall health, and how efficiently your body recovers afterward. Here's a practical guideline based on clinical observations and urological recommendations. For men between 40 and 49, a frequency of 3 to 4 times weekly is generally appropriate. During this decade, hormone levels remain strong, and the prostate typically recovers well between sessions. For men between 50 and 59, it's best to reduce frequency to 2 to 3 times weekly, depending on your condition. If you notice fatigue afterward or symptoms like difficult urination, decrease frequency slightly and monitor your body's response. For men 60 and above, once weekly is usually sufficient to maintain proper circulation, support gland cleansing, and keep biological rhythms functioning normally. If your overall health remains good and your natural drive is still active, twice weekly is acceptable, but avoid back-to-back sessions. The most important principle isn't following an exact schedule, but maintaining consistency. Don't go extended periods without activity, but equally important, don't push beyond your body's natural recovery capacity. This practice should complement proper rest, balanced nutrition, regular light physical activity, and routine health checkups so your entire system stays in harmony. What matters most isn't counting days, but understanding your body and adjusting your habits to match each life stage. Beyond the physical aspects we've discussed, there's one major obstacle that leads many men to neglect their prostate health: the psychological barrier. This deserves special attention as we conclude. The truth is, most men don't lack information about prostate health. They lack comfort in discussing intimate topics. Self-pleasure after 50 isn't wrong, shameful, or something to hide. Yet because of social pressure and cultural judgment, many men choose silence, and in doing so, gradually stop caring for an essential aspect of their health. I've met many patients who knew something wasn't right, but felt too embarrassed to ask. They viewed sexual release in later years as unnecessary or inappropriate, especially when done alone. But once they understood this was simply another aspect of basic male health maintenance, like regular exercise or proper eating, their perspective changed dramatically and health improvements followed. What I hope you'll take from our discussion today isn't just information or another health tip, it's awareness. Your prostate doesn't need to be ignored simply because the topic feels awkward. It needs appropriate attention at the right intervals in the right way, just like every other important part of your body. If you've stayed with me through this video, I believe you truly value your health and well-being. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your age group and what aspects of men's health concern you most. Your input helps me create more relevant content and might help another viewer who's hesitant to ask. If you found this information valuable, please subscribe to our channel for more in-depth content on men's health topics that most medical professionals rush through. Remember, taking care of your body isn't just for the young. It's for those who understand themselves and know how to stay healthy from within. Your prostate health matters, not just for comfort today, but for your quality of life for years to come.